All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I have a lot of stuff to cover today since my last official DC update was late last week. A lot has happened, a lot. And we're going to be covering all of that in today's video. And if you missed my video yesterday, you're going to want to check it out. I talk about how Superman has made me appreciate some other things that we've had from the past even more. And I talk about the box office update. And I got to tell you, there are some people coming into the comments that just do not understand business. They don't understand how tickets work. They don't understand about inflation. They don't understand any of that. And they're trying to make it out that Superman is this great movie, that it's taking the world by storm, and that it's amazing, and that it's going to beat Man of Steel's domestic box office. And there's a very real possibility it could. But here's the issue. You're still selling about half the tickets you sold when Man of Steel came out. You have half your audience, even if it beats it, because tickets are almost twice as much. Some people are going to say the average is up like 38% or something. It's actually higher than that. I can tell you when I saw Superman, it was $20 a ticket. Like they've definitely inflated the prices for this particular film. So there are far fewer people going to the theater to see the movie. It is just a fact. It is also a fact that Superman needs to gross over $700 million just to break even. Just to break even. That number could be closer to $800 or $900 million to break even. And that's only if Warner Brothers is being honest, and I don't think they are. So you can spin it however you want. It's the most mediocre movie. It is a forgettable superhero film. There's no amazing scenes in it. It's just not what the studio should have put out for the public. It's not. They can claim they're bringing in a new audience, but I can tell you right now, if they're going to follow this up with Clayface and Supergirl, it's not going to end up well for DC Studios because people just aren't going to care about these properties, and they need to start making movies for less money. Now, if you're new here, please take the time to, if you like the video, when you get to the end, please like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I have new videos go up. And for those of you who have not subbed yet but watch my channel on a regular basis, what are you waiting for? Take the time to subscribe. I have to thank you all because July, so far this month, I have had over 800 subs just in this 1 month alone. And considering I've been on here for about 5 years, that is huge for my channel. I really do appreciate all the support. You guys make it worth it, and it allows me to come here on a regular basis and give you guys these updates. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First up, this comes from Happy, Sad, Confused, a podcast. And James Gunn said he would love to cast Henry Cavill in the DCU. And I'm putting it down right here that there is no chance, zero chance, that they will ever get Henry Cavill to come do anything that is involved with DC Studios as long as Peter Safran, David Zaslav, and James Gunn are around. I'm just throwing it out there. They were toxic to him, and there is no way he's going to come back. I can guarantee you that. Also, Matt Reeves gave an update on the Batman Part 2, or James Gunn gives an update on the Matt Reeves script for the Batman Part 2. He says, I like it. We're headed in the right direction. There are some things we still got to work out, but it's headed in the right direction for sure. And if you know James Gunn, that is a scary statement, because James Gunn gave notes on the last 4 DC films, starting with The Flash, and those didn't turn out too well. And now he's talking about kind of guiding the Batman Part 2. He should just get out of the way is what should happen. And I don't like that he says we're headed in the right direction. There are some things we still got to work out. What exactly does that mean? I'm still not convinced this movie is ever going to get made. So this comes from Joshua Horowitz, James Gunn on which director he most wants for the DCU. James Gunn says Matt Reeves. He's not directing a DC film yet. Now, some people were led to believe that this means that they're going to be merging the two universes based off of this statement. I don't think at this point that is going to happen. James Gunn did reiterate again that the Batman is not going to be part of their universe, but Matt Reeves has not done a DCU film yet, and so he would like Matt Reeves to come in and do that. I'd rather have Matt Reeves be in charge of the whole thing and get James Gunn out of there. At least Matt Reeves has a little bit of respect. James Gunn says Luca Guadagnino is no longer involved with Sergeant Rock, but the movie is still going to happen. So this movie is in development hell at this stage. So the fact that James Gunn says it's still going to happen, there's no guarantee that it's going to happen. So we're just going to have to wait and see where this ends up at the end of the day. Now, I laughed when I read this. Superman's speech may be the greatest moment on set in James Gunn's life. You know what? That scene could have led up to something amazing, but James Gunn got in the way. James Gunn got in the way and had Crypto come in and do a comedic scene to top it off. James Gunn does not know how to do emotion. He can't do it. He can't let it simmer. He can't make it grand. It's impossible for him. James Gunn has a problem when it comes to doing something grand on film. And it's his own fault. He gets in his own way. Also, it was announced that The Flash and Aquaman are not expected to be introduced into the DCU within the next 2 years. And this isn't the only time we're going to talk about Aquaman in today's video. But there's no sign of The Flash anywhere. So, James Gunn has confirmed that he has plans for Gorilla Grodd in the new DCU. He goes, I love Gorilla Grodd. So got other plans for that guy. This comes from Entertainment Weekly. Now, the word on the street is that Gorilla Grodd is going to end up in the Jimmy Olsen spin-off show from Superman. But good luck with ever getting that off the ground. James Gunn has reaffirmed that Jor-El's message to Kal-El was genuine in Superman. How can someone not think it's real? I don't understand. This is also during that interview that he did, and I saw the video for this. They made it very clear in the film several times that the message was real. And this is a stain on Superman. Like, to change something so fundamental like that is ridiculous. Superman is not Superman in this movie. He's not Superman in his backstory. He's not Superman based off of his parents. He's not Superman based off of his powers. He's a weak individual, has to be saved by his dog multiple times and saved by other people. He can't stand up for himself, and he never saves Lois, and Jor-El wanted him to come to Earth to conquer the Earth. James Gunn did not do Superman justice. Also, because of Superman being released in theaters, this was pretty cool. It is helping surge DC viewership on HBO Max. Superman, the documentary about Christopher Reeve, is up 1,206%. Superman the movie, the 78 movie, is up 332%. Man of Steel is up 218%. And Peacemaker was only up 91%. And I guarantee you, that's why James Gunn shoehorned Peacemaker into the movie. All he wanted to do was try to get higher viewership for it. I have no interest in season 2. I'm not even going to watch it. I don't care. I don't like the joke factor. I don't like how he's got to turn everything into a joke. I'm done with it. I don't like James Gunn's stuff. It's sad that he's in charge. Also, I picked up Crisis on Infinite Earths. So when I started reading comics, I started reading basically in 1987. This story came out 2 years prior to that and kind of reset the whole DC universe. So this predates what I was reading. And I'm familiar with the story, but I've never read it, didn't have a copy of it. So I got the 35th anniversary hardcover edition, and I will probably do a review on this on my channel when I get done reading it. I haven't started reading it just yet. I've been very busy this week. So I do plan on reading this very soon, but this is going to be added to my books. Ana Nogueira is writing the Wonder Woman film. So there's a new Wonder Woman. We heard that it was going to be fast-tracked. And she wrote the script for Supergirl, and she's also writing the script for a Teen Titans movie. So they've got her doing multiple projects with the DCU. Won't know how that's going to end up until we see some of the projects. I don't know her and some of the I don't even know what she's done in the past. But I hope she's competent because they need someone better than James Gunn in there. Now, this was as of last weekend that the F1 film has now grossed $460.8 million worldwide, surpassing Superman's $406.8 million. It's now eyeing a $600 million finish. For an original movie like F1, this is a huge deal. This is a partnership between Sony and Warner Brothers. I hope that this movie gets a disc release. And for this not to be a big, wide-known name like Superman, this is pretty big news, guys. This movie is phenomenal. In fact, I plan on going to see it again this weekend one more time while it's still in theaters in case it never gets a disc release. So this was right after the weekend that Superman holds strong with a $58.5 million in its second weekend, which was a 53% drop, bringing its 10-day domestic total to $236.2 million. Now the highest grossing comic book movie of 2025 with a soaring global box office total of $409.3 million. That's not soaring, okay? To just come above $400 million, that's $409 million is not soaring. And they expect it to make to get over that $500 million mark by the end of this coming weekend, which is pretty sad actually at this point. This movie is losing its legs, and with Fantastic Four coming out today, I'm actually going to review it later today. I'm going to see it in just a few hours. It's going to hurt Superman big time. Like, Superman is now done, and it's gonna eke its way to somewhere between 500 and 600 million total at the box office. And we'll see how that ends up at the end of the day. But this film is not the blockbuster they needed. It's just simply not. And there were people saying that this was going to have like a 68% drop, but it actually had a 53% drop. And then those people kind of got quiet after that. And I want to know where all the people who said this movie was going to make $1 billion. There were literally a ton of people in my comments saying it was going to make $1 billion. Some people said it was going to make $2 billion. What happened? Now, here goes James Gunn again, spouting off about what's canon and what's not, making things even more confusing. James Gunn says most of the Peacemaker Season 1 stuff is canon. I did a podcast, and in those episodes, I talked about what's canon and what's not. I basically chip off little things from Peacemaker Season 1 that aren't canon, like Aquaman, but most of the stuff is canon. So what does that mean for The Flash? What does that mean for the Superman kryptonite bullet? Like, James Gunn has turned this into the biggest mess possible and still has not explained how things switched over from the DCEU to the DCU. He just changed things. And he's cherry picking what he wants to make canon and what he doesn't. None of it makes any sense. None of it does. Now, this is James Gunn being James Gunn. He has talked about how he hates other Batman films and other directors' versions of those films and other characters. And so, James Gunn, when asked whether Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods are DCU canon due to Economist, however you say his name, and Harcourt's cameos, he said they're not canon. I hate it. This is James Gunn, guys. He is constantly putting down other people's work. It's who he is. He thinks he is a true narcissist. He is the definition of a narcissist. So the Booster Gold series is apparently back in development, with David Jenkins writing the pilot. It says this is a pilot order and a full series has not been approved yet, but this is a great step. The plan is for Jenkins to showrun the series if approved. And we're going to take a look. There's another still in regards to this that I'm going to take a look at here in a minute. So here it is, kind of reiterating the information we just saw. And the guy that they were going to have play Booster Gold is no longer going to be Booster Gold. So they have not said who is going to be cast in this role just yet. But it says Booster Gold series is moving forward at HBO Max with Our Flag Means director or Death creator David Jenkins to pen the pilot. If ordered to series, Jenkins is expected to serve as the showrunner. And again, that comes from Deadline. So I thought this was funny how James Gunn has time to answer people like this. Somebody put this thing up here that said, James Gunn on why Supergirl didn't tell Superman about his parents. Someone quoted him as saying he didn't ask. James Gunn came in and said, also not true. She didn't know his parents. So hopefully there's a backstory to Supergirl and how she meets up with Superman, because that all happened prior to the Superman movie, and none of it makes any sense. So we got the San Diego Comic-Con starting, and I thought I'd share this. I absolutely love this image. This comes from Alex Ross, the amazing artist. Limited edition DC and Marvel premieres from Alex Ross Art. Get these San Diego Comic-Con exclusives while you still can. This is pretty freaking amazing. And this is bright. This is bright. James Gunn's movie looked nothing like this. Had they made the Superman movie look bright and hopeful like this, it would have been awesome. The colors on the suit, the way it looks. And one of the things I want to see in a Superman film, and hopefully I'll see one before I die, I would love to see Superman fly through Metropolis and say hi to people through the windows as he flies by, to wave to people, to just fly through the city. That would be amazing to see on film. But we don't get that. James Gunn's movie was very spastic. All right, guys, so there you have it. Another DC update. As more information gets released, I'll be covering stuff on Lanterns, Supergirl, and everything else that is coming out here in the very near future. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to want to be subscribed. And I'll be talking more about comic books and some other things on my channel. And so I'm finally glad that we're finally almost able to move past Superman so we can maybe stop talking about that and focus on some other stuff. But I do appreciate the support, and I will be back later today with a review on Fantastic Four. I'm hoping it's a good movie. My wife and I are going to see that here in just a few hours. All right, guys, I do appreciate the support. We'll see you on the next video.